By 1960, the cure for tuberculosis had been found, and the patient hospital was no longer needed. What do you know? Yep. Cora dies the next year.
Yep.
The building was too expensive to demolish, so they just left it to rot. Trees grew through the roof, moss covered the columns, blah, blah, blah.
That's so fucked up.
Local kids had a game. You walk up to the second floor balcony at midnight and look into the broken windows. If you were brave, you would see empty beds still lined up in a row. Oh, shit.
And the beds weren't there anymore.
1985, a 19-year-old named Thomas went up with his friends. He swore he saw a light on in the tower. Not a flashlight, a warm yellow hospital light.
Yep.
Like the one from the old photographs. His friends laughed, but Thomas went inside. They found him 3 hours later sitting on the edge of the balcony shivering, even though it was July. Blizzard would do that to you. He kept saying the same thing over and over. They never left. They are still on the balcony waiting for the air to heal them. So that's why that shadow was on the balcony. They hear coughing from upper floors. Nurse still doing her rounds in the hospital. Officially closed more than 60 years ago. Rest in peace.
In the basement of there, that's when I seen that figure.
See the interiors, you have pictures, blah, blah, blah. A few outside pictures. They are pictures.
Maybe when we said goodbye to Cora, that helped her release her spirit.
I really hope so.
Maybe that's why we didn't get a response. Remember, because there was a pause. Like somebody was gonna say something, and then it just went away.
Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe she got free from that, and then when we walked out to go to the next building, she saved us because we saved her.
That's true.
Just like you said.
In the early 1900s, doctor suggested the construction of a hospital for an inpatient tuberculosis treatment. March 25th, 1909, the New York legislature passed a bill authorizing the city of Buffalo to build, equip, and run such a hospital. The first patient was the niece of the superintendent. The closest TB treatment center was in Raybrook of Gowanda, New York, which was quite far from the Indian school. With success of the fresh air cure at Tipperary, Dr. Pryor's friend realized the need for a TB institution close to Buffalo. The Perrysburg site was selected for its pure lake breezes and the cures occurring at Tipperary. Construction of the hospital began with a $160,000 contract issued on October 13th, 1910.
That was the day of our wedding.
Capacity of...
This is like the fourth time I've seen 2 deer in a row.
There are deer.
No, I've seen 2. The last time I seen it a couple miles back, and this is the second set of 2 I've seen.
Maybe she's thanking us. This room was perfect for acoustics and lighting. Just one of the rooms built to allow sunshine to cure the patient's TB. Heat for the building was provided by a steam system and a new power plant that was built in 1923, which served the facility until 1960. When new boilers were installed and gas replaced coal as the main fuel, water supply, always abundant, with a 1 million gallon reservoir. Holy shit. Built in 1923 and 1924, bringing the total capacity to 1.5 million gallons. 10 working wells on the grounds could produce twice as much water as the hospital could use. That sounds good. Jane Addams Hospital served as a treatment center from 1912 to 1960. In 1948, the hospital was turned over to the state and became one of the 7 state-operated tuberculosis centers, continuing with a capacity until June 1960, when it closed down. It reopened in September of the same year as a state mental hygiene facility, functioning as part of the Gowanda State Hospital until 1962, when it became a division of West Seneca State School. Was that really it? The Phantom Screams from the Wards. Established in 1909, treatment center until 1960. You guys get the gist. Several 9 years of activity. Many people are said to have died in the hospital, including several nurses who allegedly did things to themselves. Abandoned building is now rumored to be haunted, with reports of screaming coming from within the hospital and shadowy figures moving above near the windows.
Yep.
Was that it? That was really it. Goes through nurses and staff things. Local legend claims several nurses and caretakers became too overwhelmed by the grim conditions and high death toll of the incurable tuberculosis wards that they did things to themselves on the upper floor. Paranormal investigators claim that the spirits or the caretakers still walk the main administration building, forever trapped in a loop of trying to tend to the long dead patients. Shadow figures, because of the massive complex, sits empty on a dark, isolated hill in Barrysburg. Visual sightings are a major part of the local rumors. Drivers passing by the perimeter fencing at night, as well explore inside the courtyard, report seeing dark humanoid shadow figures pacing back and forth past the upper floor windows. The real article is the White Plague era from 1910 to 1950. In the 1910 and 1920s, local papers heavily tracked death tolls. Articles from 1910 record over 500 people died in Buffalo alone from tuberculosis in a single year, which is what prompted Jane Addams to fund the Perrysburg campus. Okay. One young gentleman who came to the hospital thin and strong, not strong at all, was treated at the hospital and recovered. He ended up marrying the nurse who took care of him in 1919 and opened a taxi service to the railroad. People afflicted the Great Way of Death were sent to sanatoriums far away from the rest of the population where it was expected they would eventually succumb to the disease that was one of the nation's leading causes of death during the first half of the 20th century. The rays of sun to bring new life and the vigor to TB patients. For decades, the place was host of a stream, doctors wanting to see the cure in actions for themselves. And the sun cure, both of which saw a rapid decline after discovery of a more widespread use of antibiotics, especially after World War II. Campus was closed. Tuberculosis Hospital in 1960 was used as a facility for the developmentally disabled until 1993. We're probably at a dead end for this right now. Downfall of Jane Addams campus resulted from medical obsolescence following the antibiotic revolution. Social shifts towards deinstitutionalization and demolition by neglect. Due to legal and environmental challenges, ongoing legal disputes over land ownership combined with high asbestos remediation costs have left the site in a state of severe deterioration. Surrounded by 500 acres of forest, is one of several structures in WNY, Western New York, designed by this person, the most well-known of which Delaware Avenue Baptist Church. A hospital dedicated to the treatment of tuberculosis by Mayor J.N. Addams.